Meet Samsung's lineup for 2025, the Galaxy S25, S25 Plus, and S25 Ultra. And there are a lot of changes here, but in terms of the biggest ones, I found 20 of them.
Oh, and on a bit of a separate note, I am now in San Jose for Samsung Unpacked 2025, and I wanted to let you know that if you're looking to pre-order any S25, you can use our exclusive link below to get $50 in Samsung credit. This is only available using our link. Now, back to the video.
Okay, so change number one, all models of the S25 are noticeably thinner now. The S25 is 7.2 millimeters from 7.6, the S25 Plus is 7.3 from 7.7, and the S25 Ultra is now 8.3 from 8.6, making this the thinnest Galaxy lineup ever. In addition to this, the S25 Ultra specifically gets an entirely new body as well, one with a fully flat frame, unlike the S24 Ultra, which had this rounded frame. And the corners are now also rounded, as opposed to these sharp corners that we've had on all Ultra models since the S22 Ultra. And I'm actually very happy with this change, as number one, it is much more comfortable in the hand now, and number two, it finally matches the design language of the rest of the S25 lineup, whereas before, the Ultra always looked like it didn't fit in. Another change is the colors. The S25 and S25 Plus come in 4 colors, which are navy, icy blue, mint, and silver shadow. However, if you order from Samsung's online store, you'll be able to pick 3 more exclusive colors, such as blueback, coral red, and pink gold. Whereas for the S25 Ultra, we've got titanium silver blue, titanium white silver, titanium gray, and titanium black as the base colors. And then titanium pink gold, titanium jet black, which is kind of like the old S21 Ultra black, and then titanium jade green as the exclusive online colors. Of course, we still have a titanium frame on the S25 Ultra, which is now even stronger as opposed to the aluminum frame on the S25 and S25 Plus. The next change is when it comes to the performance. All models of the S25 come with a Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy chip, which gives us the biggest performance boost I've ever seen from one Galaxy generation to another. We're getting 37% faster CPU performance, 30% faster GPU performance, and also a 40% faster neural engine as well. Not only that, but the thermals have also been significantly improved this year, with a 40% larger vapor chamber on the S25 Ultra and a 15% larger vapor chamber on the S25 and S25 Plus, which means that long gaming sessions should keep the frame rate stable. Samsung claims around an 18% actual improvement in gaming performance, which is a very substantial number. Speaking of performance, we do also get more RAM. 12 gigabytes of RAM on the S25 and S25 Plus, while on the S25 Ultra, it remains the same at 12 gigabytes of RAM. Also, on the base S25 model, there's now a 512 gigabyte version as well. So if you've always wanted the smaller, more compact model, but you also wanted more than 256 gigabytes of storage, now you've got that option. Now, there are also a number of camera changes, the first of which is a brand new Pro Visual Engine. This is exclusive to the Samsung 8 Elite for Galaxy chip, and it brings a bunch of improvements to the camera, such as more detailed textures and colors, numerous improvements in low light, better zoom photos, selfies, and portraits. And apparently even switching between cameras when zooming will now be smoother, as the AI would be generating extra frames when you zoom in. But probably one of the biggest camera improvements is night video. Once again, thanks to the new Pro Visual Engine. Personally, I'm really happy to see this, as the low light video on the S24 Ultra wasn't great. So the fact that we're getting much improved night video with essentially the same main camera sensor, it's pretty awesome. And speaking of video, another change is that we also get log video on the S25 Ultra specifically. So we'll be able to record this super flat footage, also in HDR10, also in 10-bit, and then have much more flexibility when it comes to grading it afterwards. Oh, and by the way, on a bit of a separate note, we've just dropped this stunning 8K wallpapers pack called Fluid Fusions by Hanain. It's a beautiful pack that looks perfect on your smartphone, tablet, and desktop to give your devices a fresh new coat of paint in this cool Apple-inspired style. We are already halfway through January, which is crazy. So there are already 5 more amazing pack drops from this month for you to check in our app wallpapers. They're all super unique and complement your devices in different ways. So simply download our app wallpapers, which you can get for free on iOS and Android by using the links below. Now, Samsung has made improvements to the shutter speed, both mechanically and in software. And along with the new onboard AI models, things like super slow motion will have much more accurate and clear results. Now, when it comes to improvements to the actual camera hardware, only one of the camera modules is physically getting upgraded, and that is the ultra-wide module on the S25 Ultra only. This is now a 50 megapixel sensor, up from 12. Also, with a larger f1.9 aperture from f2.2 for 34% better light capture. And since this is now a 50 megapixel sensor, we can also record 8K video on the ultra-wide in addition to doing this on the main and the 5X module. And thanks to this new ultra-wide, macro photos will now be significantly more detailed as well. Samsung claims a 4x improvement in macro detail, which does make sense since we are getting just over 4 times higher resolution on the sensor. Another change is Gorilla Glass Armor 2 on the S25 Ultra. The screen on the S24 Ultra was absolutely incredible, especially with that anti-reflective coating. Well, now it is even better, as it's more anti-reflective than before, with 29% more resistance to fractures than the S24 Ultra. Okay, this next change may be pretty controversial. Samsung removed the Bluetooth functionality from the S Pen on the S25 Ultra, meaning that none of the air commands would work anymore. So things like holding the button and swiping up to change camera modules or the remote camera shutter, those are all gone. Now, personally, I don't actually mind it that much as I wasn't using the air gestures at all. And even when it comes to the remote camera shutter, I probably used it just a few times. It's just much easier using your Galaxy Watch to view your camera feed instead. So that's what I would recommend. Also, there's no battery inside anymore, so you won't have to worry about charging it. All in all, I see this as a cost-cutting measure. The Note 9 was the first Samsung phone to support Bluetooth on the S Pen, so the S25 S Pen will work just like it did before the Note 9, at least in terms of usability and features. At number 16, we've got Pro Scaler. Essentially, when you're playing a low-resolution video, it will automatically get upscaled. 240 video will get upscaled by 43%, for example, to around 340p. Now, this is not a massive improvement, of course, but it can help. 720p video, for example, will get upscaled to close to 1080p. And then we've got a couple of unique AI features, the first of which is called Now Brief. Now Brief will give you briefings about your day, such as health insights. It will also tell you if your favorite podcast episode dropped. It will also show you your concert tickets and boarding passes, and you'll be able to select what sort of content you want to see there in the settings. Now, it will take a few weeks to learn your habits and what you do, so it won't work right away. And then we've got Now Bar. This one won't be out for a while, but it is very similar to Apple's Live Activities and Dynamic Island. So it will show you different app activity cards for things like sports scores, map directions. It will even give you a heads up if there's been an accident on the road and update your travel time. Live Activities are something that I use all the time on my iPhone, so I'm really happy to see this coming to the S25 series as well. And we also get a number of other Galaxy AI improvements. We get AI Select that gives you actionable suggestions based on what's being displayed on your screen. So if you're watching a video, for example, you get the option to turn it into a GIF. If you're looking at a photo, you'll get generative edit options right away. AI Trim lets you easily create a reel straight from the videos in your gallery app. Call transcripts now work in up to 20 languages. There's also a new audio eraser for things like music, wind, and other background noises. So yeah, there are a ton of Galaxy AI improvements in the S25 series.
Hey guys, Daniel from the future here with a very quick correction. So all the cross-app functionality that I'm mentioning in the section that I'm saying that it's done by Bixby, it's actually done by Google Gemini instead. So I literally just found this out at the event. So yeah, just a quick correction, keep that in mind. And now, back to the video.
The new version of Bixby kind of does what Apple promised for Siri back in June, but still hasn't delivered anything. So you get this human-like AI assistant that can understand context and can find the right information you need from the apps installed on your phone. For example, you can ask Bixby to watch a YouTube video, summarize it, and then save it to your notes. Or find a vegan-friendly restaurant in the area and then send that location via text to a friend. Or make a meal using a photo with a number of ingredients. On top of this, you can also use the new Bixby for adjusting system settings, like turning on and off the always-on display, or adjusting the text size, which is, of course, much faster than having to dig through the settings to find those. Now, of course, there are a ton more changes with the S25 lineup. These were just my top 20. So do subscribe for a lot more S25 videos. We'll have our camera comparisons out soon, as well as our detailed real-world battery drain tests, and much more. If you're interested in buying an S25, don't forget about the exclusive promotion and the deals down below in the description. Check out our app, wallpapers for iOS and Android. I'm Daniel, this is ZONEofTECH, and I'll see you guys in the next one. ZONEofTECH, signing out. Cheers.